and see if your business name comes up. If it comes up, then you've done something right. If it doesn't come up, panic.
No, don't panic.
What you want to do then is you want to go to, you got to be registered as a Google account. If you have Gmail, you are registered. So when you go on Google searches, on the right-hand side, you'll see my account. And right next to that, you'll see a whole bunch of little dots. And it says apps. And you click that, and on the right-hand corner, you'll see my business. You click that and do a search for your business. If it comes up, then you want to check it and make sure the information is right and claim it. And we will talk about what that means in the next slide.
GMB, sign up for a Google account.
So we signed up for our Google account. If you haven't claimed it, then you want to sign up for the Google account and say that you want to claim a page. And Google will say it's easy to do, and it comes up with the website, with the page, and manage my page. And you click that and you develop your profile. Google walks you through the whole thing. So they're trying to make it as easy as possible. They will ask you what your business name is, what your address is, what the best way to get in touch with you, your telephone number. Right below where the telephone number is a little checkbox to enable people to call. If they're on their phone or on their tablet, they can punch that little link and it will call the number for you. So that's pretty powerful. It also has a section where it will ask you if you want your address known, because like I have an internet-based business and I have a home office and I really don't want strangers knocking on the door. So I said, make me invisible. So Google knows it's invisible, but then it asks, can I use this address to send me a postcard? And that postcard says that I have claimed the page. So it takes 5 days for the postcard to come to you, but then you know you're on. Then Google asks you to start listing what are your services. So like for me, I'm putting in information marketing, content marketing, social media marketing, Google My Business page, press releases, so forth. I'm listing all the keywords that people are looking for when they're doing local marketing searches for somebody that can do it. So that's really a great thing. Now, the other thing that Google My Business page has, Google loves images. They love photos. They love video. They love anything like that because people take a little bit longer to look at a video, so they stay on your page. They also like reviews. We're going to talk about that a little bit later down the line, but you need to set it up so you can have your reviews on Google My Business page. Google will find any review with your name and your business name anywhere in the world on the internet and put it here. You don't have to do anything else. You have a very handy, quick reference to be able to look at that. And reviews, people take longer to look at, and Google likes it. You can also put in a video here. You can explain what you do during the COVID pandemic. There's all kinds of ways to put content and information on your Google page. Did I cover it, Mary?
I think so.
Did I put anybody to sleep? Anybody have any questions?
No, they're smiling. That's a good.
They're smiling. That's good. Everybody's awake.
This
Hey,
is
Bill.
Oh, what?
You could take a couple minutes and explain a little more depth the idea behind keywords. I don't know why they call it keywords, but I understand what keywords are and why they're important.
That is an excellent question. And I fall into the jargon too quick. Keywords are words that people use when they are searching for information. So if I were looking for a house in the Villages, my keyword would be buy a home in the Villages. Home would be a keyword, the Villages is a keyword. And then it's gonna come up with all the listings of homes in the villages. Find a plumber near me. Plumber is a keyword. And Google will look for a plumber that's near my location. Keyword, long tail keywords are keywords that have 2 or 3 subjects strung together. So I am looking for real estate investment condos. That would be a long tail keyword. So you can zero down and find articles and videos on that. Lately, I've been running videos on my LinkedIn account on press releases. And so I did one, press releases, small business, and then press release, nonprofit organization. And that's the long tail keyword. And it zeroed right in on some guy was telling us how he got his nonprofit announcement for a fundraising event. Keywords can be verbs, they can be subjects, adjective, adverbs, anything that a person would think about and during a search. So any service you offer on this GMB page, you want to get that in because that's actually a word that people search for. When I do an article for people, I try to make about 5 to 10% of the keywords into the article. That way I'm not packing it. Google considers that normal and they like it. If you have a photo of a house and then you put a description underneath it, all those keywords of the description is going to be a search feature. 4-bedroom home, corner lot, oak trees, that kind of stuff. Three bathrooms, updated kitchen. All of those things are very important to Google. Did I answer the question?
Okay, Carl?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
This is optimized GMB page, suggestions to make Google notice you. Maybe you've done some of this, photos and videos.
Photos and videos. One, if you have a shop, and I try to get people with the bead shop to do this. If you have a shop in a strip mall or a large shopping center, take a picture of the front of your building. Take a picture of all the landmarks around you. Because around here, people, they can't always see your sign, but they can see the landmark. They can see the general area. That's pretty powerful. People like that. And they're more likely to go to you with that picture of how to find you than they would with the person that didn't put in the picture. Videos are good. Explain your videos. Anything that you're doing as a service, and tell people. And today, the snazzy videos made by expensive marketers and by blow dry announcers, really, they want to see you because you are authentic. If you don't want to be seen, make it an audiogram. So those are ways of optimizing. As you go down, there's even more areas to optimize. The latest feature, kind of interesting, I was reading this, Google can now book an appointment. I think they're aiming this more for physicians' office, chiropractors, people who have to, CPAs, people have to book an appointment. But I would think for realtors, this would be a good feature. The problem is that Google wants to charge you a subscription for that. And they have a lot of different prices. It's a little bit pricey at times, depending on the area and where you live. But because you're paying for the service, Google is going to boost your ranking. So that's one of those things that's hard to figure. That's a personal decision with the business. Did I get everything there?
Okay, I think you did. Explainer videos. You could use it to show demo of products and services. I think you did.
Question on the video, Bill.
What did she say?
You mentioned that you can have those expensive videos. Do you have any suggestions for us locally as far as getting videos made? Who could make those?
Well, there's a man in Harrisonburg, Virginia that will do explainer videos for you. And his pricing, I don't know what they are. He was my roommate in college, and he's a radio producer.
How about a local place, you know?
A
Maybe,
local place to make a video.
I'm sure there are things.
Yeah, there must be. I haven't had to use one. I just turn on their
He
camera
does his
here.
own.
I do my own. I turn on the camera. I start talking. If you go to my LinkedIn
Yeah.
profile, you'll see one that I did for realtors, and you'll see one that I did for audiologists. It's not hard. You just the easiest way to do it is to read a letter. You know, I've got this from the old mailbag, and this person has asked this question. Hi, I'm Bill Hall, and I'm a real estate investor, and I've been doing this for the last 20 years. And this is the answer to your question. And you give a short answer and say, give me a call if you need more help. My number is so and so, and you're done. It's real easy. And and then after a while, you'll start getting questions. And I had a newspaper column asked the hearing expert when I was in Monroe, and people started writing me questions. They were intelligent questions. I had to figure out how to answer it in layman terms. But it's pretty exciting. People do read. People do listen. But I don't know of anybody locally. I think you ought to just do it. Jump in and do it. Give it a try and let your friends see it, and they'll tell you what they think.
I think that's great. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't think about doing it yourself. I just
Yeah.
was thinking, having it professionally done, but sure, you could do it yourself. Yeah.
Don't forget, you got a smartphone. Your smartphone got a great camera, and just stick it up there and start talking. And the other thing that you can do, and for audiogram, if you find a graphic and on your computer, like we're doing here, bring up a graphic. Let's say you're showing people how you keep sanitizing your hands. So you show a picture of a hand sanitizer, the bottle, and that's all you show. And then you talk about how you protect your customers from getting infected with the disease. And that's the stuff that Google loves, because that's very high up on their search rankings. So there's many different ways, and any video you do, you can always do an MP3 file, and that's on your smartphone. You got a voice memo.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need. Just give a talk, embed it in your website, and you're good to go. People are going to find it.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, this one is your Facebook business page, Powerful Local Business Marketing and MIMS.
As Carl referenced before, Facebook is pretty powerful, and a lot of people think Facebook is worldwide, and it is. I mean, you got 2 billion people on Facebook, but Facebook is trying to get it more for local marketing, and to do that, there are some tricks to the trade that you have to do. And the first, and of course, doing Facebook ads of what they want you to do, but they tell you on their own website what you need to do before you start promoting your business page. So it's one of the reasons why we like it locally. Number one, your customers are on Facebook. Grandparents are looking to see what their grandkids are doing. Mothers are looking to see what their son is up to. Neighbors are curious about the neighbor down the street. Friends are keeping up with awards and everything. There's all kinds of stuff. Facebook is a big neighborhood gathering. So consequently, they're on, and they're surfing Facebook for information, just like they do on Google. And so Facebook is becoming the second most. Facebook search engine is number 2, second only to Google. So it is getting a lot of traffic for searches. So you want to make sure that your business page has the keywords that we were talking about and has information that people want to read so that it's active. Facebook defines active as posting content every day. Once a day, every day. You can do it more, but you can't do it less. So that's crucial. And they recommend you use MIMs. And MIMs are slides with images and text. And Mary and I found some samples of it. We're going to get to it. And did I get it all, Mary?
That it just creates interest and targets, engages your target audience and grow your business over time.
So that's exactly what happened when you do the content marketing and you put it on there. You're going to start attracting an audience. People will find you. It's really amazing. Dr. Porter is a veterinarian in Wildwood. He doesn't have a website. He doesn't have Yelp. He doesn't have any of that stuff. But he does have a Facebook business page, and he likes to write. And so he's not doing it every day, but he's doing it every other day. He's got something about cats. And right now he's talking about how to diagnose a cat with diabetes, how to tell they got diabetes, and what to do with your cat if he's peeing all over the place and not in the kitty litter, that kind of stuff. And people read that. And I noticed he had 810 followers.
Well,
Now, and so when I did my little phone search, his name came up. So it is, Google considers Facebook an authority site. So it's very important to get your business page up and running and active. And I think we're going to talk some more about it on the next
yeah,
slide.
how to create a business page is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Well, it is if you can see.
But you have 8 points.
Yeah. Okay. Do not use your personal Facebook page as a business page for 2 reasons. 1, you're going to get a lot of friends that you don't know. 2, you're restricted to 5,000 friends. You want to get as many followers as you can. So when you have a business Facebook page, your goal is to start getting followers, people who come back, people who click like and follow. And when that happens, magic happens. Once you get more than 7, Facebook starts taking you seriously. And it's very easy to get people. Once you get your page up and running, tell all your friends, send them the link to your Facebook business page, ask them to take a look and click like and leave a comment. And that'll jumpstart everything. So don't use your personal account. So Facebook walks you through. It's not that difficult. First thing you want to do is have a photo. No beach scenes, no pool scene, no sunglasses. Look professional. You guys are running your own businesses. You're interested in real estate investment. You're interested in anything business. Look professional. You want a head and shoulder shot. Professional, don't have to get it done by a professional photographer. Just use your cell phone, get somebody to take your picture, get the lighting right. And once you find one that you and the person taking the picture likes, you're good to go. There is a cover photo on the back behind your photo, and they call that the cover image. And there are lots of images you can put up there, and people do. I say that might be worth doing a Photoshop where you put your name of your business and your phone number, because that's a nice billboard that hits you. If you don't want to do that, on mine, since I'm trying to help people stand out from the crowd, I have a tree that stands out from all these other trees, and the sunlight's coming from the back, so it kind of stands out. So visually, that's appealing. So there's a lot of different ways, but it's got to look nice. That way it's not distracting to someone. Then you want to go to your About page. You're actually given 3 areas to write. The first one is only 256 characters. That's with and without spaces. So that's a very brief introduction. What you do, bam, 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 what kind of service you offer, how to get in touch with you. The nice thing about Google business page, they have a section on the right-hand side of the page where it'll say contact. And so you can put in how you want to be contacted. If you want to be contacted by phone, you put your business phone number there. If you're running a home office like I do, Google Voice is like having your own business voicemail service. And people will call Google Voice and you're saying, I can't get on, can't answer the phone right now. I'm out selling houses. They leave a message. Google will send you an email that you got to call, and they'll give you a transcript of what the call was all about, and they'll give you a link so you can hear it. So that's pretty nice, because especially when they're giving their phone number, it's kind of nice to be able to read the phone number. And that way you don't have a lot of pesky phone calls. The other way of doing it, if you want to be contacted by email, they can do that, or by messenger. I did an article for LinkedIn, got a lot of comments on it, because I said email is not dead. People said, well, my children, my adult children are using Messenger. What do you think? I said, Messenger is what the younger generation likes. A lot of people are staying within the Facebook universe, and Messenger works. So you need to keep up with that, and Facebook will alert you to a message if you tell them to alert you. The problem that I have with Messenger as opposed to email, everybody's on email. Only some people know how to use Messenger. It took me a while to figure that one out. So that you got to figure out how you want them to get in touch with you. So that's photo covers, contact. Okay, 250 characters. It's only about 25 words. Then they'll have another section, services. So you got 10,000 characters to put in what you do. You put in the services you offer, how you offer, anything you want. But then again, these are keywords because Google will pick it up. So you want to put down everything that people want to hear, think about when they think about what you do in your shop. And then there's a third area, and you can put even more stuff in there as well. But that area is in another part of the page, and Facebook will tell you what it is after you get everything else done. It's just interesting how it just prompts you along. So those are crucial for keywords. Once you have all that down, Facebook gives you a link. And the link is a long, complicated number until you get 7 likes. When you get 7 likes, they give you a custom link, which is the name of your Facebook business page. And I sent Carl my link, and it's all embedded in this little signature. And I thought that's pretty cool. And I didn't realize I had 7 likes because I've been posting regularly. So that's pretty important too, and that helps you. What's next, Mary?
Well, dear, you're all over the place. So I don't know which one you're at. Any questions about that slide? Did we miss anything? I don't think so. All right. What are MIMs? You talked about that. Do you need to say anything more about that?
Well, MIMs, again, Facebook recommends you post MIM every day. And they also recommend every 7 days, you might want to post an article that somebody else has written off the internet, or you might want to post a video that someone's done, or you might want to post your own video on it, your explainer video to tell people what you do and how you're doing it. People like videos, especially short, to the point, using that little format I told you about, the old mailbag formula. It worked for Ann Landers for how many years?
Yeah.
So that's something that you can do. I have a service to help you with that. I also have some MIMs that I put together as a bonus for you, for all of you who are listening to this presentation. Carl will send you out the drop link for the bonus. You will have 30 MIMs, enough for 30 days. 10 are quotes, timely little quotes. 10 are tips, and 10 are conversation starters. I like the conversation started because people really will all of a sudden start putting in comments and they want to see what other people have to say. It's kind of fun. So I gave you 30 of them for free, and try it on your own Facebook page and see if you get some activity. The other thing that I offer on MEMS that I'll do the posting for you. And let's show some samples of MEMS.
Mims, okay. I don't know if you can read them. On the left, it says growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. And those pretty flowers at the bottom, rule your mind or it will rule you, by Buddha. Never give up on your dreams. And what is going right in your life right now? So those are quotes. So those are not, you don't have any.
Well, what's going right in your life right now is a conversation starter.
Yeah.
So all of these things work because it's information, and people chuckle. I subscribe to a service that offers this day in history. And so on this day, you'll see a clever little meme on what happened on that day. I also have one, if you don't want to do the history, there's one for a day to celebrate. I just signed up for that one, so I'm kind of anxious to see what it's all about. But there's something to celebrate somewhere all over the world. And they found 365 of these, so I'm kind of curious about that. That's something that people will go back and see. And then because everything is depressing with this pandemic, I found a series of memes on healthy living, and it's very interesting. So people like that, and so that supercharges the number of people looking at your Facebook page. Any questions on this section?
I have a question on the MEMS, Bill.
Yeah.
Looking at the examples that you have on there, I post some things like this on my personal Facebook page, but I don't know if they're MEMS or not. Like sometimes I will take a screenshot of something and then post it. I might see this somewhere else, for instance, and then take a screenshot and post it on my personal Facebook page. Is that considered a mem?
It is.
It is.
It's a meme. People love to share on Facebook like what you're doing. And don't forget, if you look up in the middle of the page, just underneath the cover photo, you'll see share. You click that and you can share the image with your friends that you see. And that's what you want, because the more that people click your meme and click share, Facebook considers, you've got some people looking at it. That's great. And they'll push you up.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Thank you.
You're doing good. You're already a step ahead of me, that's for sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's mush on.
Press releases, the powerful traffic generation machine.
I really like press releases because I used to do it throughout my whole work career. Every time I would start a job, I'd send out a press release that I started a job. But back in those days, you sent press releases to the newspaper, to the radio, to the TV station, and if you're in a small town, to the small town paper. Any place that I could think of that would like to have a pre-written article that they could publish for free. And that works. But now with the internet, it's amazing how powerful it is. So a press release has to be written in a certain format. You can't deviate from the format. Press release has to be written to capture the attention of the reader. You call that copywriting, but basically it's the hook. You have something to catch their attention, and then you lead them into what's happening. And there are basically three different types of press releases. One is an announcement. That's pretty nice. You opened up a new office. You made Salesman of the Year. You made the Diamond Roundtable and houses sold. All that. Those are announcements. They're interesting. People like to see that you're being successful. Also, you can have events, which is like an announcement, but say you're sponsoring a little league team, or you're sponsoring a charity event and having a barbecue to raise money for them. That's an event. Then you have industry news, and believe it or not, this draws a lot of attention. This is content marketing at its best. It's called attraction marketing. You're attracting people to your website. You post the article on your website and you put the link in the press release, and you get the press release on the internet, distributed everywhere. And by everywhere, the more expensive distribution sites will cover influencers. And influencers, people like Oprah Winfrey, people like Dr. Oz. Those are the two I can think of at the moment. Tony Robbins is an influencer. They have websites and people are always posting stuff on there. The press release gets on there. You have blogs. There are a lot of popular bloggers and not so popular bloggers, but they're all looking for information, newsletters, all of that. It gets everywhere. And the class I was taking last month, the guy was on Zoom, and he took us to the internet to doing a Google search, and he found a press release in Houston, Texas, and it was dated February 2008. And so then he tried to find the website, and the link didn't go anywhere. The website was taken down, and there's no address for the, it was Hot Dog World, so they're out of business probably. But the press release lives on. It's still driving traffic. So it's a very powerful means of communication, a little bit expensive. Try to do it at least once a quarter. Once every 2 months is better, and monthly is the best to get traffic going to your website. So it's something to consider, something you can do yourself, something that I can do for you. There's a lot of websites available now that will do press release. They use PR and do a search. Some are free. You get what you pay for. Some are expensive. You get what you pay for. It all depends on what you're looking for. So I like press releases. It's something that I haven't done in the last few years because I thought it was a lot of work sending out to every newspaper in the area. But the internet does make it easy, and it is effective. Today, because of the internet, you can now have a multimedia press release. And that's when you can do your explainer video, embed it on your website, put the link on the press release. People click the link, they go to your video. They're there on your website. They see what you do. They look around on the website, so that helps. You can do an audiogram, do your little speech. It can be anything. It can be like what I'm doing now, giving you a little lecture. So something that you're explaining to people is interesting. Embed it in your website. Put the link on the press release. People see it. Boom, they go to your website. Pretty nice. So this is a little tip that I've learned, and it does work. And I've talked to people who have found that it is working. Did I get everything, folks?
We got one question.
Yes, sir.
How does a blog differ from a press release?
A blog is well, press release is newsworthy. Press release is something that just think of in terms of catches the attention of a news person that wants to publish it. A blog is somebody writing an article and publishing it on their website, and it's their personal opinion. And a blog can get traffic, but you have to find somebody that will share the blog with somebody. And that's a little harder to do. Press releases is something that people are looking to put on their blog. They're looking to put it on. And because it's a press release, it's considered important. That's about the only way I could figure that out.
Okay, another question. What is the purpose of embedding, and where do you embed to make the most impact?
What is the purpose of
Embedding?
embedding? Okay. and getting the greatest impact. Embedding, the purpose is to get people to go to where you have your link. And so if you have a link on your website, that's where you want them. Or you can have a link on the Facebook business page, either one or both. May as well cover the gambit. And you want people to click that link and watch the video or listen to your audio. And Google will notice that you're getting traffic to your website. Your analytics will pick it up that you're getting traffic on your website. So it's not just people happen to click on and then click off. Somebody actually clicked and stayed on your page. And if you stay on the page more than 15 seconds, that's a big flag to Google and that they consider you an authority. That's the first part. Embedding. What was the second part of the question? Everybody's getting in on the app. Yeah, I feel like Jimmy.
Where do you embed in to make the most impact?
Well, to get the most impact is to send your link out to as many people as possible. Don't forget, you have your email. I noticed on the email you sent me, you have a little blurb about what you do. You could put a link there for a video and tell people personally what you do. And that link would take you to your website. And then I would see your website. And after I look at your video, because your video is going to be on the top part of your blog, your website page, and the bottom part, you're going to have maybe a transcript of your speech, or maybe call me and I'll help you, something like that, a little advertisement. So that gives you the most impact. So your email is a good source to throw your link around. Press releases, blogs, Facebook page, anything on the internet that will take a link, and that link has to go back to your key site that you want people to see, and it will be powerful. It's all about Google. It's all about analytics. Google picks it up, and on your website, you can sign up for Google Analytics, and it will track all of the activity, and it will tell you. It will tell you where all these people are from. When I was doing golf cart detective, because when I first moved here to the villages, I couldn't believe all the golf carts. So I did a blog on that, and I was getting views from people all over the world: Russia, Ukraine, Kenya. I couldn't believe it. South America, Asia, Taiwan, India. So it's amazing what happened. And what I would do is do a photo of a golf cart, write a brief blurb where I saw it, where I found it, and golf carts aren't just for playing golf anymore. And people liked it, so it got a lot of traffic. So it's really a matter of thinking, where can I put my link to my video, and be sure that the link doesn't go back. Well, your YouTube, of course, will do it too, but you want them to go to your website, not to your YouTube. But if they go to YouTube, that's okay, because underneath your YouTube, you've got your contact information, you got what you do. So it's basically the same thing. You're getting your name out there. That help?
Okay, should we go on to the next slide?
Next slide.
Yeah, I got a question.
Oh, wait.
What's up?
You said the press release needs to be in a certain format. Where would we go to find out what that format is?
You want to say that again? We're having a hard time hearing you.
I said, you said the press release needs to be in a certain format.
Yes.
Where would we go to find out what that format looks like?
Well, you can Google it, and you can ask me. The format, basically, you have the press release. This page is intentionally blank, and then you go to the title, and then they want to know briefly who you are, what you're doing, and then they want the article. And it's something that I just do it automatically. But Google has it. Also, there are templates, In fact, I saw somebody had a template and I was thinking, I really should download that and give it to you guys. But if you do a YouTube search on press release templates, you'll get several templates on how to make the press release look right. And it's amazing what you can find on YouTube.
Okay.
What do we got here, Mary?
Reviews, the good, the bad, the ugly. Google
Ah.
will search internet for reviews on your business.
And that's the thing you got to remember. Now, if you got a Google My Business page, it's going to find reviews. And Yelp is a very popular site that people go to write their reviews. Another area for reviews is Better Business Bureau. So you want to be sure that you're on the good. What's nice about Google My Business page is looking everywhere for your reviews. So you don't have to go to 20 different sites to keep up with your review. Google does that for you. Now, we all been in business. We all know you can't keep everybody happy all the time. So you've got to get some people who are critical. So when they write something critical, and I know here in the villages, it seems to be a sport to come up with the nastiest comments I can find. You want to be able to write on there instead, I'm calling you, I know who you are, and I'm calling you now so that we can try to resolve this issue. I'm so sorry that we dropped the ball. Something like that. And then you try to resolve the issue. Hopefully they'll write that you resolved it. If they don't, you can still put in, we were able to satisfactorily solve the problem. Now, the ugly is not very good news. The ugly is you can't do anything about it. And this is where you hope that when people are looking at reviews are not just focusing on one negative review when you've got 300 positive reviews. So the name of the game is to get as many positive reviews as possible. Best way to do that is ask for it. So when you serve somebody and they're in business, ask for a good review. And tell them, put it on Google My Business or put it on Yelp, put it where you know where they're putting it, and thank them. Ask for testimonials. We all do that. And let's put it in as a review. So that's what you want to try to do. And that's how you can manage your review. There are companies out there who will remove negative reviews. They are expensive. To me, the best thing to do is to keep getting positive reviews in and burying the bad.
Okay.
Any questions about reviews?
Question, Bill.
Yes.
On the testimonials.
Yes.
So if we have already testimonials, which are perhaps written or emailed or on our website, is there any way to get those on, say, like Yelp, particularly if they were written or emailed, to get those on Yelp? Does the person has to go on there and post them themselves? Is that correct?
That's correct. They have to do it themselves.
So you'd have to go back to the person that gave you the testimonial and ask them in addition to go on and give you a review. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay, great. Thank you.
That's right. You really want to do that. And you know, the testimonial is powerful right there. And you got it on your website, you got it on LinkedIn, that's powerful. And that's great. I find a lot of people hesitate to give testimonials because they don't know if they can write a good one. And so I just suggest, well, it's a simple formula. Say, I just wanted to let you know that Dr. Hall did a great job and helped my mother to hear. And it's so nice to be able to watch TV with her in the same room. Something like that. It's humorous, it comes through. So it's perfectly okay to make a suggestion and then they can write it in their own words. But I find that people, when you hit them all of a sudden, what am I going to say? Just be sure to slide in and just say, well, just tell them that you like what I'm doing and you appreciate the service or you appreciate the front office. Good reviews always mention the front office, the person answering the phone, the person that greets you and all that. They're the face of the business. A lot of people don't realize that.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Great questions, folks. Keep them coming.
Email, reach out and touch somebody.
The old AT&T tagline. Email is still growing. It is not dead. You'll see articles where emails are dead. It is not. It is growing 40% a year. There's over 4 billion email addresses out of the 7 billion people on this planet. So, studies have shown that people check their email box at least once a day. They check the email box more than they check their snail mail box. It's kind of interesting. What's the next one, Marion?
Well, you said it all. Email marketing is not dead, 40% growth worldwide.
Okay.
And surveys show people check inbox more than Facebook.
Now, one of the things that I suggest people do, it's called email marketing, but I'm not talking about sending out cold emails en masse. That's called spam. I don't want you to do that. What you want to do in an email, you need an autoresponder. And I think the next slide, we talk about that.
Let's look and see. Citations.
Okay, let's go back.
Go back.
Well, no,
All
I'll talk about the autoresponder. An autoresponder is very simply like MailChimp, a Weber, and MailLite. Those are the top 3 for small businesses. And all it does is that it will send out an email automatically. So you have an email list of people that want to hear from you. And what you want to do is keep them warm. You want to keep your name in front of them so they don't forget you. Now, all of us have signed up for email from Ace Hardware, from Lowe's, Home Depot, Staples, and we get a lot of ads, coupons sometimes. Never any information that can help us. So Staples says they got this fancy gadget, but they don't tell you how to use it. What do you use it for? What is it? Because they assume we know, and some of us don't. What I suggest is that you have a simple email that says, "Hi, Bill Hall here. I found this article on the internet and I thought it was really interesting. It pertains to investing in homes. It pertains in growing your business," something like that. The link is below. Let me know if I can help you. Put your name, your contact number, and then you put in your link. They have to go past your name and the contact to get to the link. They go to the link. It can be on your website or it can be anywhere on the internet. All you want to do is just be sure you give them something of value, valuable information. It is best to send out once a week. Some people say send it out once every 2 weeks, and that's true. If you send it out once a month, you almost have to send out a newsletter. I don't know about you, but I don't have time to read a long newsletter. The internet, people scan. People want short bites of information. So if you send it out once a week, you keep it interesting, you keep it friendly, show your personality, give them a video, give them an article, give them something, and then maybe every 7 weeks you make a pitch to see if they would be interested in listing their homes or if they know somebody. Another thing that's nice about email is easy to share. And I'm always getting emails that somebody forwarded to me. And that forwarding is powerful. So if you have an email with interesting information and your contact number is there, wow, somebody else is getting it, and they'll go on your website and ask to be on your email list, and you put them on the list and your list starts growing. The money's in the list. And I, at one point, was going to work with the doctor who told me that he had 1,000 patients that could use my services. And I said, great. Well, the problem was he couldn't get to it. He couldn't remember the names. He couldn't dig it out of the files. He didn't have an email list. If all he had was an email list, I would have been up and running. And that's the whole thing. The money's in the list. Any questions on that? I
No,
can help you with emails. I'm learning how to use the new autoresponder, but the copy is basically pretty good. You just set up 40 different responses ahead of time, and you load it up in your autoresponder and let it go.
all right, citations, what are they? Google ranks according to your listing on authority sites.
Google wants authority sites, and Google is looking for, does anybody care that you exist? So the Facebook business page is an authority site. Google values that. Yelp is another authority site. Better Business Bureau is another authority site. A lot of businesses are part of the Chamber of Commerce. That's an authority site. Twitter, I don't know if it is or not. They say it is. If you're on Twitter, good. Google will find it. There's 90 authority sites in the US. What's really interesting to me, the press releases I was talking about, they become an authority site. But basically anything you have to pay money for, such as the Chamber of Commerce to be a member of, such as yellowpages.com, which you have to pay to be listed, Google gives you credit for that. Everything I'm reading, if you're on at least 20 citation, you're going to be doing pretty good. And to find the citation, Google has it listed. Just Google what the latest authority sites for citations, and it comes up with a bunch. I can do it for you, have to charge, but I can do that also. Is that it?
Yep.
All righty. Any questions on citations?
Explainer videos, content to drive traffic from YouTube.
YouTube is the third most visited website on the planet, and it's been growing. And YouTube is using content like you wouldn't believe, and people are using it for all sorts of things. You can set up your own personal TV channel. You can have, we're listening to somebody who's got Blaze TV, and they named it that, and they're all this various TV names that come up with. You can have your own TV channel and name it your personal TV channel. And then YouTube recommends weekly posting. And that seems to be the key. If you can post weekly, you will get attention over time. And doing an explainer video with the old mailbag trick is really good. So you got it on YouTube, you can do a share to your website, do a share to your Facebook page, to your Twitter account, any of the other social media accounts. They all work. People will see it. The more you can post around, the better. And if you just do it yourself, it's fine. There's one guy, he doesn't do graphics like on a Mac. You can do your own graphics with the iMovie. What he does, he takes a piece of paper, an index card, and a big marker, magic marker, and he marks out his block names and holds it up, and that's his graphics for his video. But he's very real. He's very authentic, and that's what you want in these videos, and that's how you can get traffic. Sometimes you just need to talk with people to generate some ideas of what is interesting. And I've got it down, so I just do it the second time is usually good. It used to be, it took me like 4 takes to get it right. And usually because I forgot to look up here at the camera and everything was perfect except I wasn't looking at people in the eye. It's a little easier if you use your iPhone because you're automatically looking right into the people's faces. So it's good to do that. If you're an extemporaneous speaker like I am, where you have some key words, key topics to keep me straight, and a wife to tell me I'm straying off the topic, you can do a pretty good video. So I recommend it, and I think it's something you can do yourself. It really is. It's powerful.
Sounds good. All right, your business website, your shop on the information highway.
Yes, and everybody thought I was going to talk about this the very first thing. I just wanted to let everyone know that Google is changing the rules again. And I call Google the Godfather. They make you an offer that you can't refuse. So they tell you, we're going to change the algorithms, and this is what we want to see changed. And if you don't change it, we will not be found by Google. So what's coming up? The reason why I bring it up, they call it the Google slap. And the reason why they call it is that 10 years ago, that Google came up with the Panda, and they didn't tell anybody ahead of time. So everybody who was doing a lot of e-commerce on the internet, a lot of profitable blogs and making money, all of a sudden they disappeared, and they didn't know why. And Google wouldn't tell them why. So now with such an uproar, and Google all of a sudden realized that they need business people to use them. So now they tell us ahead of time. So now it's called the Core Web Vitals. Obviously a geek made that one up. I liked it better when they used Panda and Penguin. What they're looking for now are several things. One, you've noticed that when you land on a website, Google will tell you, hey, this website's not safe. They do that to protect children because a lot of hackers will attack a website and redirect you to a porn site. So Google wants to make sure that your site is certified. And you have to talk to your host, your web host server, so Bluehost, Snappy, what is it? HostGator, those types of people. And they will set it up. So it's just really a matter of sending an email to your host server and telling them, let's update my address to make sure it's safe with Google. The second thing is Google is now noticing that people like me who cannot see want to be able to use their screen reader on your website. And if they can use the screen reader on the website, they'll drop you, which is kind of nice for me. But it's also, they're trying to protect you because there's a lady who's blind, and she's in South Florida, very interesting article, got up with a law firm, sued 800 restaurants in South Florida because she could not read the menu. It was not compatible with her screen reader. Yeah. And in order to have the menu, like if you have WordPress, it's a free plugin. I mean, it was a real simple fix for these companies, but unfortunately, they got caught in the lawsuit. Settlement costs ranged from $20,000 to $189,000. Mm. So if you have a WordPress site, there's a free plugin. If you have a site on using other content management systems, you'll have to get in touch with the person that designed it for you. It's a simple code that they put in. And it's just something that people hadn't thought about. And they also were thinking that if you have less than 15 employees, you're not under the ADA law. But on the internet, we can't tell how big a business you are. So they're making that a big deal. Another thing that Google doesn't like for some reason, marketers love it like me, are these pop-up menus to get you to sign up for the email list. They don't want pop-up menus. You'll be penalized for that. There are other geeky type stuff like how fast does your website load? There are still some websites out there that load very slowly. They're old websites, been around a long time, haven't been updated. Google telling you to get it updated. So you need to talk to your web developer, talk to your web designer. If your website's more than 3 years old, it's probably time to develop a new website. I know Carl is using a service that's very easy to build a website and set it up and do all that stuff for monthly fees, and that sounds pretty good to me. But you need to get your business website updated. You need to organize your website so it's easy to find how to get in touch with you. And that's under the About section. First thing they see, your business name, and your contact information. If you can get a website with a header, get your name and your phone number or whatever. Make it easy to find. A lot of websites you cannot figure out how do you get in touch with this person. And I think I covered it, did I?
Mhm.
I've got a question here, Bill. What
Yeah.
WordPress plugin are you referring to?
What plugin are you referring to?
Okay, plugin is called accessibility. So if you have a WordPress site, all a plugin is a little program that you plug in, and it's called accessibility, and it will make your everything on your website except for the images readable. And then they have a paid version if you have a lot of traffic and you think you might be exposed to the sharks. You might want to go with the paid version because every month it updates it and makes sure that you're current. But usually most attorneys are going to shy away from suing you because you got something there that says accessibility. Click here if you can't read it.
Carl, do you see that Wendy wants to be admitted? On your screen, do you see somebody wants to enter the waiting room? Has entered, you got it.
I'm not seeing that.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you must have done,
Okay.
okay. All right, next one.
Okay.
Questions?
Well, you all are a wonderful audience. You have been giving me questions and keeping me on my toes. So anybody have any final questions?
Well, I've got one, Bill.
Okay.
You mentioned YouTube. What I've been doing in the month of November is I make a video, put it up on YouTube, and then I also post it on my business Facebook page. And I'm also running an ad, Facebook ad around that for 2 or 3 days.
That's powerful.
What's your thoughts on the effectiveness of that?
That's powerful. That's very powerful. You have an active Facebook page. Any ad that you run on Facebook is going to really draw some attention because Facebook considers your page important. The other thing is, like in realtor, I noticed, Carl, on your email that you can do listings. Facebook is now doing real estate listings. And now is a good time to start learning how to use that for your advantage and use that to drive traffic to your Facebook page. And it's pretty interesting. The articles are coming out now on how to use that. And it's something that I think you should look into. But boy, video is very powerful. It is powerful. It draws, people watch it. People only skim, but they'll listen to a video. If you keep your topic, don't wander all over the place like me, but keep it tight. And use the mailbag formula. That works. You're answering questions, just like I was doing before, answering questions. And that's what people like. Question and answers is how they learn. And the ads on Facebook, I have a friend, she's an artist, and she's trying to reach out to interior decorators and all because of her painting. And she has a newsletter. And so she started her Facebook business page and she would post her paintings on there. And then she ran ads for her newsletter of her art. And it cost her $30 and she got 300 people signing up for her mailing list. And I thought, wow, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. Local marketing, it's a smaller segment, and the more narrow your niche and the more focused your target, the more powerful your results will be. And the nice thing about that is if you don't get any results, then you know you weren't aiming at the right target. So it's Truett Cathy, the owner of Chick-fil-A. I heard him speak before he died, and we asked him, how do you know when your marketing dollars are doing the most good or when it's wasted? How do you know what to do? There's so many choices. He said his rule of thumb is half of all marketing dollars are wasted. The problem is you don't know which half. And the only thing you can do is try. And the nice thing about Facebook that I really like, you can just run a limited ad. Just click, pay per click or pay for somebody that actually clicks on the ad. And you can run it for a month and it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. So, and you get people. But if you get your email list going, that's going to help you, because then you're getting people that are interested in your topic.
What do you think about Google display Gmail? I think they're called display ads in Google. They show up when when you go into your email and they've got these little ads at the top.
Mhm.
What do you think about those?
I don't like them. Me personally, I don't like them. Mail to me is personal to me. Google and marketing in general, any place where they can put your name and your pitch is good, because on email everybody's there. You're using Gmail and you can see the ad. But Google does have a link that you can turn those ads off. And but it works. They wouldn't be putting it on if it didn't work. And to try, may as well try it if it's not too expensive and see if it helps you. I think email is a little bit of a scattershot approach. I think a more focused approach for your niche is always better. So I guess you would have to read over what Google's deal is. Google AdWords on the search engine is probably a good way to go. I'd say give it a try on this email, because I really don't know. I just know I don't like them.
What about the YouTube? And this bugs me, but you go into YouTube. Like I follow a guy named Ben Heath who has a Facebook marketing agency in Great Britain, and I go in to watch his videos, and the first thing is, you got an advertising video that pops up before that.
Mhm.
You got to wait 5 seconds before you can say skip the ad. And then the other thing that's really aggravating is right in the middle of his video, you'll see a little symbol pops up, says ad starts in 2 seconds, 3 seconds, whatever. And then that ad pops up. You got to tell that to stop so you can listen to the rest of his video.
Yeah.
What do you
That's way too aggressive.
on YouTube advertising?
That's way too aggressive, and they do that because they hope to get a couple of bucks off of YouTube for it. And they're creating this great content, and it's interrupted because on network TV they schedule a break for the ad so it can be concluded. The thought is finished, and then you have a hook so that you'll stick through the ad. And what's happening on Google when it's in the middle, you're disjointed. It just stopped in mid-sentence. And then you got to sit through this ad, and then you forget what they were talking about because they didn't get the hook in your mind, so you know where to pick up. And what I've done with people that I follow, I've written and said, I don't mind you putting the ad in the beginning, but this thing in the middle, unless you plan a break, is really disruptive. And two of the people wrote back and said, thank you for telling me. I didn't realize that was happening. And I noticed they cut off the middle part of the ad. I guess you can choose which ads you want. As for the beginning of the ad, that's fine. I'm willing to skip the ad and go through 2 ads and then be able to sit through and listen to a 5-minute video. So it's too aggressive, I think. Anyone else, folks? Wow, you were a good audience. I appreciate you going through all of this. I hope it was educational. I hope it helps you. Carl's got a special report that I did that I sent out how he found out about me. It goes over some of the steps that I gave you in this presentation. And if I can help you with anything, give me a call. I'm right here locally. I'll be happy to help you and give you whatever expertise I can offer.
Okay, and for everybody that made it tonight, Bill's mentioned a couple times about this report. I have it in my email, and what I'll do is I'll pull the list of participants and then email all that to you tomorrow.
And do open up the content of the memos. I think they're fun. So.
Okay.
We got, thank you, great content and presentation. Appreciate the info. Excellent presentation. Thanks. You did a great job, Bill. Thank you. Great presentation. You're a good teacher. Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you, Mary, for helping me.
I'm amazed that he can't read that, but he can remember all that stuff. I would never be able to remember it off the top of my head.
I was pretty amazed by that too when he first started, but then I got kind of used to it.
Yeah.
Great teamwork.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Should I stop share? It's up there. I can see it.
Yeah, you can stop that. Okay, anybody have any questions before we go?
Happy Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And for those who are members of MCREIA, we will see you on December the 8th for our virtual Christmas party.
Oh, gee.
Virtual Christmas. Oh, boy.
Yes.
Well,
And,
do a
be
YouTube
thinking-
video on
I'm going to
that.
give you guys advance notice now. Be thinking about this. We're going to be giving out MCREIA bucks